Welcome everyone, my name is Okon Samuel Victor. Welcome to my YouTube channel Victor the Analyst. So today we are going to be talking about Uber portfolio dashboard project. Okay, we want to create a dashboard that can help us predict the average minutes that we can actually deliver stops from one location to another location using Power BI. So that's what we want to do. So in this project, we teach you how we are going to create the dashboard. So this is a project that you can actually put in your portfolio. All right, without much talk and do, I would encourage you, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel. A lot of people watch my video without subscribing. It's actually not really helping me or supporting me in one way or the other. My own is that I like giving out to the society, and I will encourage us to please subscribe. I'm not asking for financial help, but this subscription is the only way you can actually encourage me to do videos like this. All right, I'll see you in the other side of the video. Thank you very much. So welcome back everyone. So this dashboard that we created is actually going to help us to check the average minutes that was actually spent for making the trip from one location to another trip. You understand? So in this, if we get the average minutes, so this one can help us inform our decision for prior trip during that same route. Now let's take for example now. Let's say we have Lagos State as our starting trip, our starting location, then Ogun State as the end location, and probably we've been doing this over time in our data sets. You understand? So if we get the average minutes spent, this one can inform our decision on the next trip from the Lake Ogun State to Lagos State. So this is what we are trying to achieve in this dashboard. Now let's look at how it works. So I'll click Control and I'll click on this filter button. So this one takes me to my filter where I can filter from what location. Let's say I want to choose this location. From this location that I'm looking out to which other location? Washington. So I select Washington. So from this location to Washington, the average minutes spent is actually 24 minutes, and the average miles is what? 4.90 miles. You understand? So this can inform our decisions that from this location to this other location to Washington location, if we're actually going to take on average 24 minutes. So if a trip actually exceeds this more than this average, like going to like 100 or so, definitely something is actually wrong. So this is what we are trying to create. This is the dashboard we are trying to achieve. All right, I would see you without much talking and doing. I would see you in the other parts of this video. Thank you very much. All right, let's look at this design of our dashboard. If you see these templates, or this black, this box is actually done on PowerPoint. So we went on to PowerPoint to fix that, and we'll come back and input it into our canvas. You understand? So let's go to our PowerPoint. So you need to go to this search bar, then search for PowerPoint. If you have PowerPoint, then go to it. So you can, if you are coming up on PowerPoint, once it comes, just click on this blank presentation. Then okay, for me, I'll click on blank presentation. Let me start afresh. So I'll click on blank presentation. All right, so this is what we're going to do is you select this, then click on delete on your keyboard. Select this, come to this edge, click here, then click on this delete on your keyboard. Now you're left with this blank space. So you come here and click on this star. All right, so now you have this. Then you click on the insert. Then we'll go to the shapes. Click on the shapes drop down. Then you will click on this. So it's going to be like a rectangle shape. Select that. click, then drag out. Make sure it covers all the whole space. Then what we're going to do is we're going to right click here, and the first thing we're going to do, we're going to remove the outline. We don't want outline, so it remains the color, the background color. So I'll add on to my previous work and try and get the color code. So I'll press Windows Shift and C. So what Windows Shift and C does is that you want to open a color picker. So if you want to get my color picker, just go to the apps, the Microsoft Store, then look for Power Toy. Let me spell that as Power. So it's gonna be Power Toy. Alright, so this is it, Power Toy. So I can just click on this, click on Open. Alright, so the Windows Shift and C that I click on. Okay, let me just go back, cancel this. So let me start back. Let me just do Windows Shift and C. So you can see anywhere I go to the color, I can pick this color, I can pick this color. So this is a color picker. I'll select this. So now I color code. This is my color code. Just come here and copy this. You can use the RGB tool as well. So let's move on to this, a PowerPoint, then the background. So I can just come here and cancel this. So right click here, then go to your fill drop down, then go to the more colors fill, more fill colors, then go to the custom, select that, then rename this, then do Ctrl V to paste that in. So this color was gotten from that my other project. So I'll click on OK. So I'll click on OK. So my color code has changed. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to bring out our each boxes that we have inside here. So I'll go to my insert. I'll go to the shape drop down. Then I'll choose this. So I'm going to use rectangle. So what a rectangle does is that it's going to create a new. So I'll drag this down. So I'll do Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Click here, then bring that one here. Then reduce the size of the template. Bring that up a little bit, then bring this down. Okay. So what we're going to do is that let's work on the table measurements. So before then, let me just bring out these three. Okay, better still, I will just delete this, select this, then delete this. Okay, Ctrl Z, sorry. So I'm left with just one. So let me just change the color and the size. So I'll select this. So I'll go to my shape format. So if I'm not mistaken, the height is actually correct. The width is what we need to change. So the width is 3.00. So it's enter. So I'll select this. So my size, this size is actually 2.78. Then this should be 2.63, 2.63. It's enter though. So I can just select this and drag it up a little bit. So I can just right click, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And drag this one to this point. Okay, click and drag this down to this point. Alright, so let me bring this one down a little bit. So every design you do here is going to be what you have in the dashboard. Okay, so make it the same height. Good, they are good to go. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. The colors, we want to work on the colors. If you can see here, this is a black color, this some are white, and all these ones are white. So the color, I'm going to use Windows Shift and C to bring this color. So then move down to this point, cancel this. So I'm going to select this. I'll right click on it, then go to the fill drop down. So let's change that to more colors. You can just go to the custom, then change this to ash, which is 00, Ctrl V, and it's on OK. So automatically this changed to this thing. So I can still come here, right click on it, then go to the outline, then we have it like no outline. So select this too as well, but this is going to be white. So let's just, to be on the safer side, we just need to copy this color here. So I'll do Windows Shift and C to bring, this is white, and so come here. So right click, I'll go to up here, the fill, I'll choose white, this is white here, you can see. Then the outline, right click, and the outline drop down, you see no outline. So what do we mean by outline? There's a borderline here, you understand? It's something, most of the time is what the default is actually black, so we can choose to remove that. We don't want that. All right, so there's it. If you come to this my other design, template design here, if you notice there is like a shadow of white up here, and there's a cast of shadow here. So that's what we will try to fix right now. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, I would try and do that now. Okay, for this I would go to right click here, then go to my format shape, so the drop down here, click on the drop down. I'm not working with the feed. I like the feed to be solid, so I'll go to my effects, I'll go to the shadow. On the shadow, the presets, click on the drop down, we choose this design, then we change the color, we change it to something like this. Then we change the blur, change it to 15px, 15pt, and the distance is going to be 15pt. All right, so there we go. And what next? Okay, good. So I'm going to select this, and I'll do Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So I'll put that just right on top of this. Just place it on top of it. Make sure it be on the same shape. Then you will come here and click on this drop down and select, we're choosing this design. Okay, the color, we want it to be white. Then the blur will be 10pt, the distance will be 10pt. Okay, so we're going to choose to move this one to the back. So I'll select this and go to this arrange up here, drop down. So I'm going to choose send to back. So click out here. So I'll do Ctrl A to select all. So place your mouse hand on Control, click on this shape, click on this shape, click on this to unselect this, click on this to unselect, click on this to unselect, then click on this as well to unselect. So now you are left with the two shape that you have here. So right click here, then over your mouse on group, then you click on group. So we actually group the two to become one entity. Now we can now replace this one with others. So I'll select this. I can just delete this and click on this, just do Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and bring this here. Okay, so let me bring this here out like this. Okay, like this. Bring this one here and this here as well. Okay. Okay, select this and bring that here. All right, so let's start continue by selecting this. All right, we can make use of brush. I'll go to my home. Oh, the brush is not highlighted, so what I'll do is that I'll just delete this, select this, then do select one of these one time, do Ctrl C and then do Ctrl V. So bring that down here. So drag down and extend this out. So when the line stop, that's where you stop. So you can come back again and check if the measurement is still the same thing. So this one should be 3.48 and the down one should be 5.57. Understand, which is the width. Though we have it like 5.67, so 5.57 stay okay. Okay, now select this one. We have to delete that and select this, do Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and bring that here. So reduce the width. So make sure they have it to be in the same line. So you can confirm the measurement which is correct. So select this and delete. Select this one, do Ctrl C, Ctrl V, bring that here. Okay, extend out. So brace this one up a little bit. It should be in the same height. Then drag this one up a bit. So the height of this should be 3.25. So just change this one to 3.25 and hit enter. Okay, so bring this up a little bit. Okay, perfect. So select this one and we are good to go. We are good to go. All right, so we've actually created our templates. So this is where we are going to create our bring in all our stuffs in there, the charts, the designs and the slides and everything. So let's now export this and take it to our Power BI. So that's the next thing that we are going to do. So I'll go to my file and then click on save as. So you go to a browse, so you save it in a location in your laptop. You can choose the location whereby you can actually pick it on time. So I'll just choose this location here and I'll choose Uber YouTube. Then I'll change the type to change this format and change it to CSV, that is scalable vector graphics format. Then you click on save. All right, so back to So you're going to click, it's asking, do you want to save or slide? I'm going to choose just this one, and just this one, that's what you're saving. Then you go to your Power BI, and so on your Power BI, the next thing that you need to do, you will click on this. So once you click on this, and you would go to the canvas background. On the canvas background, you have this instant, so you can just add the image, which is the CVG that we saved. So you just go to documents. I don't know, it depends on where you saved your own. I saved mine in documents, and I'll look for CVG. This is you. This is mine. So I just click on open. So it's not going to show directly. Why? Because of the transparency isn't 100. So I need to click on this and reduce to 0. So there you go. Now it's actually showing. So the next thing that we are going to do is we'll close this up, then go to your canvas settings, then you change the alignment, which is in top, change it to middle. All right, so then you close this up. Now I'm back to our visuals. So I'll close this up for now. Let's see. So this is what we are going to be working on. So I'll be coming back and forth to actually check what we have here. Then, so the next thing that we're going to, let me just go to the data and click on this over data sets. Now we have 3 measures. So let me see, 1, 2, 3 measures. Okay, now we are going to calculate average minutes and average miles. So our primary KPI here is average minutes. So it's going to be like average minutes by day name, by days of the week, or day name, number of trip. So, and average minutes by purpose. So let's try and do this first. The average minutes, the KPIs, then so I'll go to my Power BI. So I'll click on this icon here. I want to create an empty table. So what's the need of the empty table? I'm going to have all my measures inside that empty table. So this is going to help me, whereby my measures will not be mixing up with the column of my data set. So it actually makes us have a clean workflow instant. All right, let's rename this to measures. Let's select this. Then just say measures and click on load. All right, I noticed that we've actually not bring in our data. So let's go and bring in our data. So go to the get data drop down. So our data is saved in CSV. So we're going to click on text stroke CSV. So let me locate the data, and this is the data over data set. So I'm selecting this, and I'll click on open. So one next thing you need to do is that this is actually the interface that I would, if I click here, this goes directly, this is going to load the data directly to my Power BI machine. So if I click on transform, it takes me to Power Query. Yes, let's go to Power Query because I feel like there are some things that we need to fix in our data set. So I'll click on this transform data. All right, now the next thing that we're going to do is we'll look at this data where in each column we want to clean the data. So that's the next thing that we want to do is data cleaning. And after the data cleaning, we transform the data, then from there, then we'll load it back to Power BI for visualization. Understand? So this is our start date. Our start date is a date and time and data data time format. So if I click on this drop down, so we can just click on the load more. All right, so we have this. So this one is not, there's nothing wrong with this data, just cancel. So make sure your data type, this is a data type, make sure your data type is in date at time up here. Now this one to the end date, make sure it's in date and time too as well. So let's go to the category. So I'll click on the drop down, that is the filter for the category, then click on load more. Now we have blank here. So let's uncheck this. So let's investigate the blank and click on OK. Alright, so you can see that there is one rows here that is actually empty. Okay, so I'll just cancel these steps. Then I'll click on this drop down again. So what I'll do is I'll click on load more and uncheck the blank because we want to remove that empty row and click on OK. So that actually remove the empty row. Now let's move on to the next column. This is the start location and destination where they actually start from, and this is the end stop location. So I'll click on this drop down, this filter, and click on load more. So let's see, investigate what we have here. So this is perfect. All right, and let's go to the stop to as well, and click on load more to investigate. All right, everything too is actually perfect too as well. So it's inside cancel there. Now the mice, and let's click on this drop down, and you see there's nothing there. Cancel too as well. All right, the purpose, there's a lot of blanks here. There's a lot of blanks in this purpose, so we cannot say we should remove it. So we can't just say we can't just remove it. So I'll come here and I'll remember that if I cancel this step here, it's going to affect this other filtering that we did there by removing this one. So what I'm going to do now, don't cancel this step, come up here, because that step, that filtering that we did in this other one whereby we remove that empty row has been saved as this filtered rows. Equally this one too as well. So just come here and clear filter, understand, instead of canceling this step, because it's going to affect this one and the other one that you actually did there. So what we're going to do is that we are going to replace this blank space with unknown. So just right click here and say replace value. So we're going to leave this place as blank and come down here, replace with unknown. Then we click on this advanced option and check this and click on OK. Okay, so every blanks has now been replaced with unknown. So click on this drop down and click on load more. So we can see that the blanks has been changed to unknown. So we still have one more issue here. This charity has a $sign. We want to replace that $sign. So check this selector, then check this alone, then click on OK. So what we're going to do is that we will come here and right click here and click on replace value. So we're going to replace this with just char rate, you understand? Then click on this advanced options. Then I'm going to check this and then click on OK. Okay, good. So I would oh sorry, cancel this step, cancel this filtering step as well. So remember that you've actually copied that. Let me do that again. Let's assume this is just come here and uncheck this and select this. So the whole idea of this one is that we want to copy this into our clipboard. So I'll right click here, I'll copy. After copying this, so just come back here and delete this step to go back. Then come back again, right click here, then say replace value. You understand? So do Ctrl V to paste what you've actually copied. Come here, then do char rate. Then click on this drop down, check this match entire cell content, then it's OK. Okay, there you go. Now we are looking for minutes, but we don't have minutes in our data set. So let's subtract our end date. Let's subtract our start date from our end date. You understand? So how am I going to do that? I'll select the end date, then place your hand on Control or Command if you are using what's it called? If you are using Mac, then select the start date. Then you go to add column, then the dates drop down. We're going to say subtract dates, so it's the subtract dates. So oh sorry, I'm going to cancel this step. So back to this, select this, click on the time drop down. We want to subtract the time instead of the days, so we're subtracting the time. So you understand, just select this and select this one, click on this subtract. So this is going to be what we have here. Now on this duration, make sure this is selected, go to this drop down and select minutes. Alright, so this actually will be converted to minutes. So you select this and delete this. So what next is that we are going to click on this drop down and let's investigate this. Click on load more. So I could just click here and drag down to the end. So the highest is 58 minutes and cancel. So I hope you understand those processes. If you have any issues, you can drop your questions on the comment section. Alright, now let's move on to the next one. The old data type and everything is perfect, so I believe that we can now proceed. So like the way I did this was select this, place your hand on Control, click on this, go to the add column, the time drop down, then choose subtract. Then from the subtract, you go to the duration, then change it to minutes. You understand? So everything is okay now. We can now proceed to the next stage by visualizing our data. So I would go to the home, click on close and apply, then click on close and apply. Now this is going to load our data into Power BI. Alright, so our data is successfully loaded into Power BI. We can now start writing our measures. So we have the minutes here. We have the miles, which is actually our, but we don't have one thing. We don't have the transaction ID. So I mean the trip ID. So let's go back to Power Query to create our trip ID. So for us to go back to Power Query, I'll click on this drop down, then I'll click on transform data. So this has successfully taken us back to our Power Query. So we can just go to over dataset, and we'll go to the add column. In the add column, we see this index column. So we click on the drop down, then we say from 1. So we are going to create a number which is increment of 1. So we're going to rename this to trip ID, trip underscore ID, and hit enter. So we can just change this to data type to text. Okay, and go to the home. So the reason why I'm changing to text is that I don't want Power BI to see it as a number. If it sees it as a number, it's going to sum it up. So we want Power BI to just count it rather than sum. So once it is in text, Power BI can only just count and do distinct count. Understand? So we'll go to the close and apply. This will take us back to Power BI, where we can continue with our creating of measures and visualizing. All right, now the first measure we are going to create is we want to calculate the average minutes, average miles, and total trip. So that's what we were looking at. All right, I'll right click on the measures, then I'll say new measure. Now what we want to do is we want to calculate the average minute. So backspace, the name of the measure will be average minutes. Then the function will be, which function do I need? Average. Which column am I applying the function on? It is minutes. So there you go. Then you close the brackets and hit enter. So you understand. So average minutes equals to the average, which is the function. You put in your the minutes inside the as an argument in the average function. All right, we have successfully written the first measure. Then would create the next one, which is average miles. So it's going to be average miles, which is equals to the average function. I'm going to have this miles will be, and close the brackets, hit enter. All right, the other one is total trip, new measures again. So total trip. So this is going to be total trip, which is equals to count trip. So I'm using this tab to call out that value. Then I'll close the brackets and hit enter. So we've actually created these three measures. So let's start visualizing. Then I'll go to my visualization pan, and I'll bring this up. So what I want to bring in, I want to bring in my visuals. So I'll click on the stacked column chart, select this, so click that and bring that here. So I'm going to be fast about this because of the time of the video. I don't want it to be too lengthy. Okay, and this is going to be average minutes on the y-axis. We didn't get our days of the week from here, so I'll just come to my days table view, and let's see what we can do here. Oh, but to be fast about it, let's go and do that in Power Query. So I'll just click on transform data and try and extract that. So we are back to Power Query. We want to extract our days of the week from the date column. So I'm going to extract this from the start date. Understand? So I'll go to my I'll go to the add column, click on the drop down, and go to day and go to the day name. So click here, then drag this. So I'm going to select this. I don't want it to show full name, so I'll go to the transform. You go to this extract and say first character. Our first character should be 3. We want 3, and we click on OK. Alright, that's good. So we can go to the home and click on the close and apply. So successfully done. So now we have it here. This is okay. Now the column has been added. So I'll click here, day name. I'll put that in my x-axis. Okay, good. Now let's move on to the next one. Click here. We want to do for this is going to be like a map chart. So I'll leave the map chart for now. I'll come back to that. Let's visualize our average minutes by purpose. So average minutes by purpose. So close this filter. I'm going to have in this cluster bar chart. Click here, then bring the here. So click, drag that out, and click and drag this out. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we want to visualize the data. So now it's asking what is going to be our y-axis. Our y-axis is going to be a categorical data, which is let me see what measures do we have there by purpose. So I'll bring in by purpose to the y-axis, and I'll bring in average minute to the x-axis. So I'll go to my trend line and go to the average line, then click on this add line. So there you go. So perfect. So we'll come back to design, just leave it for now. So let's select this, come here, I'll bring this here. So reduce this and bring that here. So we're going to have our average minutes inside here. Just check the average minutes. Okay, so just do Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and bring that here. Should be in the middle. Okay, now click on the council and check this. Okay, now we are good to go. So now it remains our what's it called, our map charts. So for you to actually bring out your map charts, you need to just go to your file and go to your options and settings. Go to the options. Now go to the security. So you're going to drag this down a little bit. So you check these two. Once you check the two, then you click on OK. Mine is already checked already. Click on OK. Then you save your Power BI work. Then you restart your Power BI. So I haven't done that. Then you come here and click on the map chart. So I'll click here, then drag to this place. Click here, then drag here. Drag this one down. Then drag outside. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we want to now populate my location. Alright, so I will need to bring in the start location. I'll bring in the start location. Where's the location? Location, start location. This is start. Then bring that into the location. And I'll bring in the trip, the number of trips that's into the bubble size. Alright, good. Now let's start designing our dashboard. We'll move on to the next stage. We start designing our dashboard. Well, before we design though, let's bring in all these extra stuffs that we have here before we start designing. Okay. No, let's just design first, then we'll come back to this part. Alright, so I'll select this, start designing, and let me go and bring in this color code that I used there. So just do Windows Shift and C to color this color code and copy my color code. So just come to this, format your visual, and we have the y-axis. This is my y-axis and the purpose. So on my y-axis, I don't want the title. I don't want the title. On my x-axis, I don't want the title as well. And what other stuff? Okay, and again, I don't want on my x-axis, I don't want the value. Okay, and let's move down to, let's come up. So I'm going to close this, close the x-axis, then come up again, close the y-axis. So I'll move down to my bars. So on the bars, come down, they change the color to more colors. Then remember that I've already copied that color into my clip bar. Select this, then do Ctrl V. So you can just click outside here. So that's changed. So the next thing that we are going to do is we want to go to the data label. On your data label, after you on your data label, we want to go to the general, the effects. We want to off the background color. Okay, I would close this up. Then on the title, we'll come back to the title, but let's go to the trend line on my average line, which is come down here on the data label. So before then, we go to the line, and the color, we're going to use this color. Okay, and we'll come down again, click and come down. The data label, we want it to be in the right, and we want it to be under, and this is it here. Now we want it to be the color, we want it to be this color as well. So what does this one mean? It means that this is the overall average for all the whole purpose. So anyone that actually exceeds this line, it is more than the normal average, you understand? So with this one, this moving actually states that this one is actually below average, you understand? It's actually cool. But one is above average, you understand? That means they are spending too much time on the norms, understand? So that's what it means. So we've actually successfully designed it, just remaining our title. So we'll go head on to the format your visual. So I'll come down to the general and go to my title drop down. So let me rename this to average minutes by purpose. So this my purpose is in capital letters, so I need to be consistent by putting purpose. Okay, then I'll change this color. This color is too deep. I'll change it to something like this. Okay, and alignment center. So there you go. So let me select this too as well. And this one we are going to use so let's design this. Now the x-axis, we don't want the title. The y-axis, we don't want the title too as well. Okay, and close this. Now in my general, I'm going to change the average minutes by weekday. Days. Okay, and the color, text color should be this color. I come down, alignment center. Okay, what other thing again? Okay, that's all for now. And let me just close this up. So we'll go to the visual or the general. Let's just remove the effects. The both this background color and the background color, they are white. So just like remove. Even though you don't remove it, it actually doesn't mean anything. Okay, now let's do the next one. We want to change this my column colors. So I'll head on to my visual and go to the columns. So this is what I'm going to do. Under the columns, then we can change the column by using this function. So I have this code that is in my other projects here. So I just go there and copy that code. So let me click on my bar color. So when you click on this bar color, click here, then select this, then do Ctrl C. Alright, in your Power BI, I would come here and let's create a measure. So right click here, just create a measure. So I'll do Control V here. All right, let's look at this. So what this one does is that it's actually going to check for the maximum value in this column, and it's going to save it as value max. So if our average minute is equals to value max, it's going to be black. Understand? So what do we mean by average minutes? The average minutes are measures. So it's going to check for days of the week which one has the highest uh, average minutes. You understand? So if it's actually going to be highest, it's going to give it as black. If it's anyone, the rest will be like arch color. So let's look at this. We'll make sure your average minutes that you have here is the same thing as your average minute. It spells the same thing, which is actually the same thing. Then we'll come here and hit enter. Okay, now we have that. So click on this FX. So on the FX, we change this to feed, value feed. We click on the drop down, we click on this measure drop down, then we select bar colors, then hit on OK. So you can see, so the highest actually has black, then the rest is gray. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So let's design this. So for this, I don't want the label, I don't want the category label. So I just want the title to be average minutes. Average minutes. So I'll change my text color to this color, and I'll come down and alignment center. Same here too. Select this. Come up. I'm on my title. Changes to average minutes. Notice we average miles, not minutes. Average miles, and so I'll drag down, align center. I'll change my text color to this color. Okay, so I'll go to my visual, then I'm going to off my category label. All right, now there you go. So we click out here. So we have this. Now it remains our map. So select the map, then you go to your format your visual, then you go to the bubble. The bubble, we're going to increase this a little bit. I feel like 25 is too much, so let's make it like 10 is cool. So the color, click on the colors drop down, then choose this and we select this color. Okay, so now the title, go to the general, the title drop down. This is going to be total trip by location. So the color, choosing this color, then the alignment should be centered aligned. Okay, and we click outside here. All right, we've actually done with our visuals. So the next thing we want to work on this part. So next thing I'm going to do is, you can see how this works. So I'm in the dashboard. In this dashboard where we are right now, we are in the state of what we call the filter state. So if I click on control and click on the home, it takes me to my home page where you can see this good morning Samuel. Today is Tuesday, March 11, 2025. You understand? Then you have this Uber stops here. So let's try and do this home page, then we'll go on to the filter page. All right, so for the for this color image that I use as my filter and all this, I'll drop it in the video description where you can download it and follow along. So let me come to this place and just I'll go to insert. So let me just click on insert and let me insert the image. So I'll go to my downloads. Okay, I'll go to the pictures. Alright, so I feel like it should be somewhere around here. So this is the filter. I'll click on open. So just reduce this. So click here, then bring it up here. Reduce this a bit. Can just extend this out a little bit. So click outside here. So the next thing that we want to bring in, this is our filter. The next thing is let me check the good morning Samuel stops. So the greeting message, let me just go to this and select this. Okay, so this is my greeting message. So I can just copy this code, Ctrl C. Don't need to change anything. All you just need to change is just the name. You change it from somewhere to your own name. So in my measures, right click here and I'll say new measures. So I'll do Ctrl V to paste that in. So inside here, backspace, then do Ctrl V. Alright, so greeting message equals to, so you can say good morning Samuel, or you can change your name, you can put your name there, you understand? So what happens is that this measures actually check the current hour. If the current hour is actually greater than 0 and the current hour is lesser than 12, that should be good morning. If the current hour is greater than or equals to 12 and lesser than 12, that is good afternoon. So the rest will be good evening, you understand? So in every condition, it has what is actually going to show, you understand? So that is it. So I can just hit enter to create the measures, which is greeting message. So we've actually created the measure. So I'm going to use card to visualize it. So I can just click on card. Make sure you're not selecting any elements here. So I'll check my greeting message inside here. So come back to this place, then of the category label, my callout value, I'm going to reduce this to 20 and hit enter. So I can just extend this out and extend this out. Okay, good morning Samuel, and reduce this a bit. Alright, so on my general, so the general, I'll go to the effects and off this, but before I off it, let's go to my visual. The callout value, I want it to be white. So let's see if it's actually white we actually use there. So I want it to be white. So then the general, I'm going to off the background color. Okay, that's perfect. So on my visuals, I still want this thing to come down a little bit. So 19, 18 is okay. So we just leave it like this. Okay, good. So now the next thing we are going to do is let's bring in the Uber. You can see this Uber. We have this Uber logo there. This Uber logo. So let's bring in the Uber logo. So I'll go to the insert and click on this. Okay. So okay, this should be in my select this. This is my Uber logo and bring that here. So Uber logo, confirm. So I'm not reducing the size, I'm just leaving it like that. So now next thing that we're going to do is now we've actually created the home page state. Now we want to create the filter page state. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to click on control and select this as well. So before now, let me just go to the view, then click on selection. Okay, you can see these both have been what's it called, selected. So what is going to happen is that I want to group the two of them to become one. So I'll click on the three dots in any of the elements. So before then, let me just rename this to double click here and rename this to filter image. Hit enter. So I'll select this again, place my hand on control and select this. So then I'll click on these two and over my mouse on I'll group. So it has been grouped, it has grouped two of them to become one entity. So I can come here, right click, double click inside the group one, double click inside here. So let me just select this and see what's up. So in any case, it's not letting me to rename. Okay, all right, let's just leave this. So let me just click on this eyeball for us to hide. Okay, I was trying to see if I can hide that, but it's okay. So once I hide this, you can see that this is not showing again. So let's by now we actually have the space to bring in our what is it called, the so we've let me just close this. So now we've actually done this. Now I can just come here, select this and control and click on my filter. So this takes me to the home page. So this is where I can just I want to work on this. We have two slicers and one home page button. So let's go to this. So let's work on the home page and the two slicer. All right, so let me first go to my insert, go to the image, all right. So the next thing I'm going to do is let me go to the picture. Okay, on the picture I would have it like so I want to bring in the home page, home page. Okay, this is the home button, and open. So I'm just going to all right, I'll just reduce this, and I'll bring that up here. So reduce, good. Okay, let's bring in our two slicer. I'll come here, bring in the slicer. This is my slicer. I'll click here and then bring this here. So I'll adjust this one up here. This one is going to be like this. So let me bring in the stats and finish. You put the stats process in this feed here, and go to your format, your visual, the slicer header. We're going to off it. Slicer settings, the vertical list, we change that to drop down. Okay, and slicer, then we'll go to the general. On the general, the effects, we're going to off the effects. Then the visuals, go back to our visuals. The value, we are going to the font color. We're going to use this color. Okay, so let me click on this drop down. Okay, there's under the value, we'll come down again. The background, we're going to change this to black. Okay, so click on the drop down. So we have this, good. So we can just select this one and then reduce this a little bit. So do Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So we've actually duplicated that. Just click and drag this one down here. So we are going to select this up here, and then we would go to my format, your visual. We want the slicer header back again. So the slicer header, we would have it to be like, the start should be from then we change the font color to this color. Then would close this. So I'll select the second slicer, then on the slicer header, click on the drop down, then say 2. So the font color, we choose this. Okay, now the next thing that we are going to do is that we want to change the design inside here, the data inside there. So click here. Now we have start, so just remove this and bring in stop. Okay, so from this is our beginning of our destination to the end of our destination. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is that we want to be able to like navigate to our fields, our home page, just the way we did that one. So select this, then press Control, select the slicer, then select this other slicer too. So once we group them to become one entity, So I would click here. So in your own case, you can rename this one if you want to and rename the image, but I would not want to do that now. Just group, and this is actually going to be group 2. So if I unhide this, I will hide that and unhide the group 1, you can see I've gone back to my home page. If I hide my group 1 and unhide my group 2, I've gone back to my filter page. So this means that we cannot create. So this is my filter page, and the next thing I can do is that I can go to my view and bring in bookmarks. So I'll add a bookmark, then I'll rename this bookmark to be like filter states. Call it states, because we are in different states in the dashboard. We are not changing page. It's going to be filter states. So I would unhide my group 1, then hide my group 2. So now in this state, I'm in the home page state. So I'll click on add bookmark. So I'll rename this to rename. I'll say home states. So now it's enter. Okay, good. So now the next thing that we're going to do is that we want to activate this button to be able to, when we click on it, it's going to take us to different bookmark. So let me close this, and let me close this up, and let me close this up. Okay, now good. Now I'll select my filter, select it twice. Okay, now I'll go to my format your image. I'll click on the action. I'll click on the drop down. So I want this to do a bookmark for me. So what kind of bookmark do you want it to go? I want it to go to the filter state. Alright, so this has been activated. So once I come here, I press Ctrl and click on this my filter. It takes me to the filter state. So let me select for the home. Click once, click the second time, understand. Then the action, on the action, click on the drop down, click on this, change it to bookmark. Then the bookmark drop down changes to home states. All right, there's something that we need to do in our bookmark. Back to your bookmark, we're going to click on this drop down. I'm going to uncheck this. Click on this drop down. I'm going to uncheck this too as well. All right, so we are done with this, and then just close this up. All right, so on my home page, I'll just control and click. I'm back to my home page. All right, now the last part we want to work on is the title, is our title. So I'll go to the home menu, then I'll click on going to insert. Let's see, insert. So on the insert, click on insert. So you see this add text box. So just click on it, and so text box in most cases sometimes it doesn't move. You can see I'm trying to move it, it's not moving. So what I'm going to do is I'll just drag up, then drag it from the right hand side, then drag it and drag this one up as well. So then drag this here. Okay, and then drag this here, then drag this up. All right, so we are going to rename this to Uber dash board. All right, so what you're going to do next is you select this, We'll go to the font size, we change it to 24, change it to 28. Let's see. No, 24 is better. 24, make it bold, and we do center alignment. My color, I'm choosing this color, not the deep black, but this other one. So then the go to my format text box, open that. Then we go to the effects, we off our background color. So I'll just click here. All right, close this and this. So we've actually, this is how we're able to create this dashboard. Okay, if you have any questions and anything you want me to do, you can actually contact me on the comment section. So I actually drop in all this image. Okay, we didn't bring in our icon here, so let me bring in the icon too as well. On a quick note, I'll be fast about that. And the icon. Okay, this is one of it, and this is average mice icon. So I'll bring that here. Okay, the next one is we want to bring in the average minutes icon, the minutes icon. Minutes icon. The minutes. Okay, this is it here. I'll just click on open. All right, I'll reduce this. So bring that here. Okay. Okay, good. So there we go. All right, so we've actually come to the end of this tutorial. We can just now save, go to file if you want to save your work, and go to save as, and just browse. Then the next thing is I want to save it in my documents. I'll go to next gen and save it here. I'll just say Uber YouTube, save it as Uber YouTube. Then I'll click on save. All right, I hope you actually find this very educative and informative. So like I said before, the only way to support me to actually create educative videos like this, like videos that are actually cool like this, I will encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the like button to make the algorithm push my video to make others see this video. And yeah, the subscription is enough for me. You understand? All right, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.